Hey y'all, so like I said earlier, I just wanted to jump on and kind of talk about what it's been like planning a wedding during a pandemic. And I just wanted to talk about what this journey has been like for us and what we've learned. And it's been interesting. It's been a whirlwind. It's been fun. It's been crazy. It's been very interesting. And it's taught us a lot, but definitely these 5 things. And I just want a disclaimer, just because I learned these things and Zach and I learned these things does not mean this is how we feel, is not the end all be all that every bride, every groom should feel this way. Absolutely not. This is just our opinions and what we learned and what we're going through and our take on everything. And so yeah, let's just jump right in. So the first thing that we learned is patience. That as hard and as eager as we are to get to our wedding day, we have to be patient, of course. And that's with any year, not just this year, not just during a pandemic year, but patience in that we have to wait for ordinances to come out. We have to wait to find out, what the rules are and what everything is. And it's a waiting game is really what it's become. And so what I mean by ordinances is finding out how many people can we even invite to our wedding. And that has been really hard for us because we have invited almost 500 people to our wedding. And where we are currently in Louisiana is we can hold no more than 250 people. And so, of course, during any wedding, during any year, you're not expecting all of your guests to show up. But this year, we have gotten so many people who want to come, and we'll get to that further along, who have told us like they cannot wait. And it hurts our hearts to know that there's just this uncertainty. And that's where this patience comes in, and knowing that we have to wait to find out if we can have this amount of people that we want and all of that. So we'll talk a little bit more as this video moves on. But number 2, we've learned acceptance. And that kind of goes on with what I was saying, is that we have accepted that the reality of what we want is not going to happen. We have accepted that we might not be able to invite all 500 of our guests, and that it hurts our hearts to know that our friends and our family, some people we have to say no. And how do you make that decision? Every single person that received a save the date is important to us in one way or another. They have impacted our lives. And so it's so important to us that we're able to invite them. But the reality of it is we probably can't. And so we have accepted that this is the way that things are. We've learned that that's how life is that we have to accept that things aren't always going to work out the way that we want. And yeah, that's like a life rule and what you go through. But planning a wedding, like your whole life, you dream of, the big wedding or even the small wedding, both are appropriate. But the wedding that you dream of is the one that you want to plan. And we've accepted that that's just not a reality for us, and that's okay, because it's going to be amazing no matter what. 3 is how to manage stress. And I feel like some people watching this video might laugh at me and call me a liar because, yeah, I have been stressed. And I feel like stress is just normal with wedding planning, that it is expected that it is going to be stressful, and that is okay to be stressed. It is one of the most, if not the most important day of your life, because you are committing yourself to another person. And it is important. It is a big day, and it is super stressful. But during a pandemic, it's been even more stressful because of the uncertainty and because just worrying about keeping our family safe and making sure our friends are safe and that we are safe and healthy throughout this entire thing and what that entails. But I've learned how to channel it. Compared to where I was, I feel like in March to now, it's night and day. I know one time in April, I just cried, almost myself to sleep. I was just so upset about the uncertainty of things. And now back to number 2 is just that acceptance, that this is how things are and that's okay. Which brings me into number 4, that we're loved. And while we never had a doubt in our minds that we weren't loved, this pandemic has showed us how loved we truly are. And it is incredible. It's refreshing. It is amazing to see, because having people support us during one of the hardest times in our life, and just having them show you how much they care about you and how much they're thinking and praying and all of these wonderful things for you and your soon-to-be spouse have really been incredible. And even during my bridal shower that happened a few weeks ago, I said it then and I started crying while I was talking about it, but it meant so much to me to have the amount of people that come. My venue only allowed about 50 people to come, and that's how many showed up. Every single person who said they were going to be there were there. I've had friends message me whose houses have been destroyed by the hurricanes that have hit the coastline of Louisiana, message me that my wedding is the only bright light of 2020 and that they are so excited to come. And I'm happy that I can be that light for them. But knowing that in the midst of a tragedy that they're excited about Zach and I's wedding, it's incredible. And it shows me like how much these people love us, because I have told them, like, you don't have to come. Like, it is fine. I understand you're going through something that Zach and I have both experienced with hurricanes. I mean, anybody in South Louisiana, sadly, pretty much has experience in hurricanes and the destruction that they cause. And this was the most powerful hurricane since the 1800s to hit our coastline. And to know that they're worried about my wedding, like, whoa, it's crazy to me. And, you know, of course I was there for them, and Zach and I were there for them to help clean up and to help raise money for donations and things like that. It just shows us, like, we are loved more than him and I could ever even imagine. And it's incredible. And all of this kind of leads me to number 5, in that it's about love. All of this is about love. And we knew that already, but this year has taught me more about number 5 than anything else, and that I could have learned, and that it's about love. Because whether or not we have all 500 of our guests, or whether it is just Zach and I and our priest, it's about love, and it's about us, and it's about our love for one another, and that it's going to be a beautiful day, whether it's all 500 people or whether it's just us two, like I said. Because at the end of the day, we have learned that it is about our love, and that in any other year, when we wake up, including this year, when we wake up the day after our wedding and the confetti has fallen, we wake up alone by ourselves, and we're the only two that are there. And we've learned more this year, while yes, we want every single person there, that at the end of the day, it's about us, and it's about our love, and it's about us committing to one another. And we have made that hard decision that no matter what, we're going to get married, because that is what it's important to us. In that, in the 6 years that we've been together, this is what we've waited for, and we don't want to wait any longer. And while some people can say that that's selfish or that's anything else, and I hope that there are brides and grooms watching this, that kind of take our advice and just, you know, Zach's cousin told me this, like, screw everyone else. Do what makes you happy, because like I said, when the confetti falls and it's all said and done, you wake up married. And that's all that matters. And we are excited to be married. And we are excited to be with one another for the rest of our lives. And we don't want to wait. And that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with changing the date of your wedding if that's what you feel you have to do. There's nothing wrong with getting married if it's just the two of you. Because we have learned, like I said, number 5, for us, it's about love. And that's where we are. And so, yeah, I hope this gives you some insight into the very interesting journey that this year has been. We have had more ups and downs than I feel like any other year. And this year in general has just been very interesting. Aside from wedding planning, it's been an interesting year. But I hope that this gives some sort of calmness to those who might be planning a wedding or helping someone plan a wedding, and that at the end of the day, it's the bride and groom, or bride and bride, or groom and groom's decision. And I'm excited for them and whatever they choose. And as long as it makes them happy, just be that support system. Because that, kind of like what I said about number 4, is what we need, that we are loved. And to just love them, because this has not been easy, and wedding planning in general is not easy, especially this year. So if you know someone getting married, just hug them, love them, and let them know that they're loved and that it's going to be okay, and it's going to be an exciting and beautiful time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, y'all.